today we are exposing and revealing the ego's programming and conditioning, and how the way out of suffering is simply to realize that none of these thoughts or stories that the ego tells are true. They are all false thoughts. So there's no point of giving energy and attention and realness, or even getting upset at thoughts that are false, that are not actually true thoughts, true thinking. So there are the thoughts of God, the thoughts that come from God, from source, from the universe, from love. And those thoughts are always going to bring relief, joy, relaxation, and a feeling of trust in the body and in your moment. And then there are the thoughts that are ego's favorite thoughts. Those thoughts are usually filled with self-doubt, self-criticism, self-judgment, things like that. Now I'm going to share my own personal story in regards to all this. So I'm at the part of the month right now where I'm 2 days away from starting to bleed, from starting my period, having my sacred red flow start flowing from between my legs. You know what I mean? It's a powerful time for women, very powerful. And for many women, it can also be a time when there is a sense that it is more difficult, more challenging, more heavier emotions, more tension in the body, more heavier, lower thoughts. You know, all the hormones in the body has changed, so that natural, like, feel good, joy, sparkly stuff is not really there as much. It's different. Now, the biggest suffering in life for me, I'm noticing, is body identification. It's identifying with this body. Because if I identify and actually believe that I am this body, then whenever I'm in this part of the cycle, I'm going to be really, really suffering, because it's changing. It's going from feeling, you know, open and relaxed and light and optimistic to feeling heavy, low, dark, tense, like really tense, like there's a tension buildup happening. That's usually how it is for women. You know, we the buildup before the bleed, right? And then that sweet release of when the blood starts flowing. But so even the thought, even the story, even the thought, like even the identification with me as a woman, like it's all body identification that's going on. I've been having the sort of seemingly experience of a lot of suffering today specifically because I am identified with this body versus feeling Holy Spirit's love and really truly remembering who I am. Now, this is not about trying to spiritually bypass. This, what I'm talking about now, is more about ego bypassing. I do not want to start looking at all these things of the body and of the thoughts that are really negative and low and destructive. I don't want to give them any more energy than I already have. And it is not spiritual bypassing to do that. It is actually ego bypassing. So I'm going to bypass my own ego by no longer giving my attention and my energy and my focus and identifying with these false thoughts that tell me I'm no good today, things are wrong, something is not right now. Because that's kind of the sense for the ego. It's like something is not correct, something is not good. There's a reason for you to not feel peace and ease in this moment. And, you know, ego loves that. Ego loves to just feel stressed and to feel like it's alive like that. And then there's the reality that is always perfect peace and perfect love, and it's always here. If all of us take the time to actually slow down enough in any moment of our lives, we can feel the reality, the energy that is present all the time, which is an energy that is indestructible and that is infinite and that is universal and that is truly who we are. And it is a golden light energy. And this is our true source. It is Holy Spirit, Christ light. This is actually our most eternal identity, if we even are going to call it an identity. We can also say that for a short while, sure, we are bodies, but it actually is kind of just pretending, because this is a dream. This is a short, tiny little speck of time in the scheme of things, this human experience. We're actually dreaming that we are these characters. Really, we aren't. And the deepest suffering comes from the identification with these bodies and being attached to outcomes in this dream world, to things in this dream world going a certain way. And the biggest cause for suffering and unease and stress and fear is identification, thinking that we are these forms. Because if we think that we are these forms, we are automatically in some ways, believing that we are separate. So we are living in an illusion of separation, in the illusion of separation. And if we are identifying and believing in an illusion, that's going to ultimately create fear. And because of the fear, then automatically something's going to kick in that's like, oh my God, I'm not safe. There's something to be fearful of. Now I need to try to control my reality. Now I need to have things be certain ways so that I can feel okay. The me, the I, the mine. All of this is the biggest, greatest setup for deep, deep suffering. And I'm not saying that I'm gonna avoid being here. However, there is a reality where we are very much aware of our true nature. We are aware that we are the Holy Spirit, Christ, eternal light. And we don't even have to think twice about the body or what it's saying. It can just have its expression. It can just be alive. It doesn't have to be analyzed, it doesn't have to be intellectualized, it doesn't have to be understood. It can actually just be this authentic, really alive, unfiltered expression of life force, eternal energy, Christ light. And I feel like I'm really here to undo all these errors of the mind, to purify my own mind, and with compassion and love. That's how I do that, by remembering that I am deeply connected to the love of God. I am a daughter of God, of Christ, and my true source is Christ, and it is yours as well. And so the only way to actually really purify the mind is to love all of it, to not judge it, to not shame it, to not guilt trip it. So these days when I'm feeling this way, when I'm feeling low, tired, unmotivated, I can't focus, I can't concentrate, the last thing I'm going to do is judge myself and get into a spiral of criticizing and saying there's something wrong with me, because that is not the love of God. That is the getting off of the ego, to be judging and criticizing ourselves. So it's an opportunity to see through it for me right now, to see through these illusions of a body that is suffering and of this person that wants to feel a certain way, that's attached or addicted to certain states, and if she can't have those states, then something's wrong. And it's just not true. No matter what state or no matter what arises in this realm, it's okay, because I am the space where all states and all energies and all emotions and feelings can arise. And I'm not here to identify and take any of it too seriously. I am here to be loving towards it all, and not hold on to any of it, and also not to push any of it away, just to let it exist and be in this Christ light. And that's how I'm able to actually bring everything that this human self is experiencing to the truth, versus keep it playing over and over and over again in these patterns and in these loops, in these drama loops that keep repeating themselves. All these patterns of drama, of suffering, will keep reoccurring and happening again and again until we see through them, until we bring them to the truth and actually see what they're really here for. And they're all actually really blessing us, because they're showing us who we really are. They're giving us an opportunity to remember who we really are again and again and again and again. And until we see through it, it's going to keep coming back again and again and again until we see through these illusions of separation. The illusions of separation will keep appearing again and again and again. So I'm here to reclaim this truth that I am the eternal Christ light that shines and burns through all the illusions of separation, or any story or illusion that there could be such a thing as a lack of love. And I'm not special. I'm not the special Christ's light. This is not what it's about. We are all the most radiant sun. This is our truest, most eternal nature, okay? And I know that it's beautiful too to play in this dream world, right? But the way to really have joy and fun and lightness in this realm is to really be living and bathing and relaxing into who we really are, and then to just let the form do its thing. And it'll be so much lighter, so much more relief, so much more peace, so much more gratitude. Naturally, it'll be there. We won't even have to fight or try. And, you know, the things that the ego really loves is when we judge ourselves or when we judge our brothers. The ego really loves to be critical. The ego does not like it if we're just accepting and loving and compassionate towards what is, because that is like gonna make the ego dissolve and disappear. You know, if we realize that, wow, we don't need to do anything else but to be love and to extend love. Wow, you know, then all of a sudden the ego thinks, well, what's my job then? Like, what the fuck, you know? So the ego doesn't really like it if we just realize that all we need to do is simply extend love and be love, you know? But this is the truth. This is the freaking truth. And let's drop all the stories of what we need to strive for and do, and let go of outcome happiness, let go of these addictions to certain states, certain feel-good states. And if we don't have them, we reach for things in the world to help hopefully make us feel good and be in a better mood. All moods can arise in me. I don't have a problem with any of them. I'm here to deeply relax and to remember who I am, and to show up in presence for others and for myself, others, to really see through the world, and to remember that this is a dream, and to be awake in this dream, and to hopefully lighten the load of suffering, bring relief to all my brothers and my sisters, because we are all meant to awaken to the truth of who we are. This is not a solo journey that one person awakens to the truth of who they are and then everything's peachy and fine. No, I want to see all my brothers and sisters remembering this Christ light that they are. More identify and know that this is who you are, versus this person, this body, this mind with its conditioning, with its stories of what it's lived through, with its stories of abuse. And it's not about spiritually bypassing. This is just ego bypassing. We're bypassing the ego stories that it likes to use to get up and to get a lot of suffering, and to just swim in the bathtub of suffering. That's what the ego likes. Meanwhile, there's the reality of love available right here, right now, forever and always, eternally here. And we get to put both of our feet into this ocean of love, into this beautiful bright light, and let it just shine through all of our pores. And it is a beautiful process of slowing down, listening, choosing this above all else, not desiring anything else but this, to remember who you really are. I love you.